Parshas Shemos. It happens to be that thanks to Ari's Rizos, we are taping this on Zois Chanukah. Chanukah, the Yontif of light, the Yontif of Geulos and Yeshuos, and Sefer Shemos, which we're going to be talking about for a couple of moments here, is a Sefer of Geula. Many of the Mefarshim point that out. We start out with Yetzias Mitzrayim, and we wind up with the Mishkan. That's the entire Sefer Shemos in one pasuk. It's tremendous Geula. There are many reasons that we were Zocher to this Geula. I'd like to discuss one of them, very interesting, in an enigmatic, love that word, enigmatic portion of Parshas Shemos, not Sefer Shemos, Parshas Shemos. Kadosh Baruch Hu reveals himself to Moshe Rabbeinu in the Sneh. The Sneh enenu ukal. The Sneh is bar ba'esh enenu ukal. Just as an aside, since this is in the Mishpacha, the word einikel, which I've probably taught to many of my children and einiklach, come from the root of enenu ukal. You ask many people, they don't know that. Getting back to the topic, in this enigmatic area, after the Sneh, Kadosh Baruch Hu tells Moshe, I want you to go to Mitzrayim and get the Jews out. What does Moshe say? Sure, Hashem, I'm going to be glad to go. He says, no, I don't want to go. I'm not worthy to go. I shouldn't go. I can't talk. Goes through on and on and on. Pasuk after pasuk after pasuk, that Moshe is saying, no. At the final end of this chapter, it says, pasuk Yodalid, Vayamra, where is it? Yodalid. Vayicharaf Hashem b'Moshe. Hashem gets mad at Moshe. Vayamra halo Aaron achicha halevi. Yodati yidaber hu. He'll be your spokesman. But it uses a very, very powerful lashon. Vayicharaf Hashem. And that in English is generally translated, Hashem's anger flared up against Moshe because he felt he was not the proper person to take Bnei Yisrael out of Mitzrayim. The Gemara relates in, not sure where the Gemara is, I assume it's in Brachas, but I may be wrong, you may know better than I, that according to Rabbi Shua ben Karcha, every time the Torah uses the phrase of Charoin Af or Vayichar Af, that there's some kind of einish coming up, because Hashem, Kaviyachol, does not get angry, but the anger flares up. Except one exception, he says. The only place where there's no punishment is in this case here. Moshe did not receive any degree of punishment. However, as with everything else, there's a machlekes. Hashem Baruch Hu says, no. Even here, Moshe Rabbeinu was indeed punished. And how do we see that? In the pasuk. It says, Halo Aaron achicha halevi yodati ki yadaber. We know Aaron's not called Halevi. Why did the Torah call Aaron a Levi? We know he's going to be the Kohen when it comes that time. With these words, the Medrash says, Hashem is telling Moshe, I intended for you to be the Kohen Gadol, and for Aaron to be the Levi, but now you're going to be the Levi, and he'll be the Kohen. So the problem is that even Rabbi Shua ben Karka would agree that this punishment is a punishment, because it says exactly in Divrei Hayamim what they were. He's a Kohen Gadol, he's a Levi. How could he claim that Moshe did not suffer any degree of punishment? Rav Chaim Shmuel Levitz brings down a gewaldige Wort from the Medrash. When Moshe Rabbeinu saw, when they did Nisach Hashemen, when he was Moshe, Aaron HaKohen, and he saw the oil going over his head, we would complain and say, oh yucky, but they realized the Kedusha involved, and this oil was flowing down his face and going down his beard. He was thrilled, Moshe Rabbeinu. He was so happy as if it was going down on his own beard. What do we see from this? Moshe's joy at his brother's inauguration as Kohen Gadol was so immense and so genuine, it was as if he himself had been appointed to that position. He would not have been happier to be the Kohen Gadol and not Aaron. He became the Kohen Gadol. He was so happy for Aaron's achievement. From this Medrash, Rabbi Shua ben Karcha's position makes perfect sense. Even though Moshe lost out on becoming a Kohen in favor of Aaron, it was not considered a punishment, because his simcha for his brother's accomplishment was exactly the same and was as immense as if he would have been appointed Kohen Gadol. This is a tremendous accomplishment, to see a brother and particularly a brother. When we see so much kinna, and this week's Parsha now, we're in Chanukah, of the kinna of Yosef with his brothers, and the reward which we mentioned last time of Menashe and Ephraim for not having this kinna. But it's not just not having kinna. His joy was genuine, was so immense that it's not even considered an einish for having said no to Kadosh Baruch Hu, which is it's not a small thing to say no to Kadosh Baruch Hu. But Moshe was on that madrega. How can we possibly hope to accomplish or achieve that level? First of all, by learning it, and second of all, by following it, and third of all, by inculcating in ourselves this ability to be happy when someone else is successful, and not to worry about other people's success. HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives everybody what's coming to him. Never feel bad about somebody else having something that you don't have, and in fact, punkt fakir, you should be happy for him. You should be thrilled for him. You should make your happiness equal to the happiness that you would have had you had it. In that schus, we will have a geula. All of our kindlech and all of our klal Yisrael will have a tremendous Yeshua. We're in the middle of this difficult, horrible milchama, and they should have groisa nitzachon, groisa hatzlacha, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu should watch over each and every chayal, each and every yid, each and every one of us. Here in Chutz La'aretz, we're having our own nisyonos here. People are being threatened and ridiculed and made fun of. Mirz Hashem, we should hear get the Basiras. Have a good Shabbos.